And the courts and the judge should know that I'll never let go, cause they made us indestructible as they made big dollars and let me know I'm just another financial figurine, an income profit manifesting machine. The only value they said I have is green. They called me a
So the dangers of generalization, especially when it comes to the most serious topics, and in this case law, family law, Babylon, the legal system in general, courts, police, judges, lawyers, right? So there's a tendency, because we've seen so much wickedness, to generalize it all as wicked, as devils, as broken. It's all completely broken, black and white, really extreme, when we know that most of life is contrast, is full spectrum, and some things are in the middle sometimes. So in that, I just want to differentiate, in my experience, the difference from family law and courts here in Colorado and family law and courts in the state of Oregon, which is where they have jurisdiction over my child. And so, coming from the freedom movement, coming as a melanated Afro-American, First Nation American, Indigenous American, as well as European American, and my history in America as a melanated man, and knowing through experience that there's no equality, that justice is severely compromised, and that just being a so-called black man in America puts you at a disadvantage by the nature of the way you were created, by the tone of your skin, by the look of your dress and your style of speech and all that. And so I knew that America was hypocritical and damaged and deals with their problems through violence and condemnation and punishment and lack of compassion and systematic bureaucracies that, fail to give the time and the depth and the compassion and love, wisdom and wise counsel to some of the most hardships that we have as a culture and as a society. And so moving into family courts, I expected none the less. I was representing myself, propria persona, pro se, as they'll try to make you be in the courts, or anything else to diminish your status, but I was representing myself. I had no attorneys. I was facing multiple attorneys on the other side. And in Colorado, my experience was that the courts treated me with very much respect, and they helped facilitate me as a propria persona litigant, somebody that was representing himself, that didn't necessarily know all the rules of the bar or procedures of the court, and they helped me navigate, helped me get evidence in an ethical and proper way without biasing my side or the other side. And so it was very transformative to go through the legal system here in Colorado and have my judgments and my prejudices and my preconceived constructed notions on how wicked and how damaged the system is challenged. And it's something that took a lot of self-respecting for me to come to my own conclusions and then speak my voice to say about these judges, European judges here, that were very ethical, were very moral. And so I feel like, as a man of integrity and good conscience, that that's due to recognize these people. That doesn't mean what I faced here was a good, healthy, holistic court system, legal system that doesn't still have damage and need fixing, but the difference from what I faced here in Colorado to what I faced in Oregon is night and day. And I know that goes for many states in the so-called United States, this union here. And so that's part of it, is anywhere you're going into the system, it's going to be complex. And if you bring prejudices that aren't true, they could cause conflict and actually set you back or prevent healthy communication, healthy communion, healthy mediation, and all the things we're trying supposedly to be in there in the first place for. So we have to keep somewhat of an open mind always in life with everybody we meet, right? To prejudge even those that we feel we know to the depth of their core. Some of those we label as wicked and damaged and shady and shisty and whatnot. Those are the ones that, we have some of the most hard, solidified preconceived notions about. And for me, that's the system, that's the judges, that's the police, definitely lawyers, I have felt no communion and connection and camaraderie with any of these people my whole life. But going through family court in Colorado has changed and started to shift my idea that sometimes, especially with a system this big and this complicated, and what are we supposed to do? Break it down and start from scratch? Are we supposed to take some of these foundations that are here and start working with them, repairing them, and trying to make the skeleton structure of, say, a constitutional republic, right? That if you read the Constitution, reads as a pretty good foundation for a doctrine for a union. Unless you're the true anarchist and you just want no state at all, I'm not sure I know how I sit with that, but I certainly entertain all the conversations, and I relate to anarchists far more than I do to your average right-wing, left-wing puppeteers that are still don't even have any concept of the rigged game. So, back to point, we still gotta take it case by case. Colorado, I got great things to say about Colorado courts and the way they treated me and the potential that it seems we have here to start to remove ourselves from needing to pay these shiesty lawyers $300-$400 an hour when they're not invested in you and they're officers of the court to begin with, and you give up your rights to jurisdiction just by hiring these people. Okay, and I know most of our community is not even part of this law conversation to begin with, but we gotta be. To be navigating in this world in commerce and UCC and contract law, constitutional law, we have to have a base level of education on how we got here, what the foundation was for this republic, and what the fallacies are, what the hypocrisies are, slavery and genocide and all those. They still need to be incorporated into the everyday, nowadays conversation. So Oregon courts is where most of my focus is going to be, because we still have to deal with the discrepancies and the judgments and the power that still are held in corrupt courts and courts that have not progressed at all. And so, I have to acknowledge between the two courts, Colorado, where there's been respect, and Oregon, where there's been hearings where I haven't even been involved. Ex parte hearings and ex parte hearings where they don't even tell you and invite you. And so you have to acknowledge, even in wicked systems where those good people are trying to make a difference and are trying to help us. And I've seen that here in Colorado. I'm yet to see it in Oregon, but I'm going to keep working it because that's all I can do. I'm in their system, so I got to keep fighting. And I got to keep being me and being authentic and trying to go in there with a positive attitude, with good charisma, right? The things that I feel are authentic to me, and hope that you can make change, little or big. I'm going to set my sights for big change, but I'll do anything I can, touch one person, help one person. And so, Colorado courts for my Colorado people, I don't know. I had a good experience representing myself. Propria persona. Look up propria persona. Keeping your jurisdiction in your proper person. Sui juris, if that's how it's called. Look up that, okay? Even compared to pro se or getting an attorney and being a baby, being a child who needs somebody to come speak your truth for you, right? So, educate yourself, empower yourself, learn about your state specifically, whether you're in Colorado, Oregon. I'm from Wisconsin, Milwaukee originally. Wherever you're at, the subtleties are different in every state, but we're all supposedly ruled under the Constitution. So educate yourself, tearing down from the Constitution down to your state constitution and then state ordinances, statutes, whatnot. Anything repugnant to the Constitution is an invalid law. So let's educate ourselves. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, but all we need not do is injure each other, infringe somebody else's rights, do wrong, do harm. Just be good people. We don't need all these ordinances, all these po-po. We don't need most of the bureaucracies that have grown to be a governmental beast. So peace and love to the freedom movement. It's a love revolution. You can check us out, get the soundtrack for the times at rhymesforthetimes.com. My name is MCAD. I also go by Rad Dad as I try to educate about these family courts. So peace and love. Let's transform ourselves. Let's transform the world. Peace out, no doubt.
It's all coming together right here now. It's all coming together right here now. It's all coming together right here. Who's that? It's love, can you feel it coming through that? Conscious revolutionary music. Yeah, you can feel it in your veins.
Hey, give thanks for those who donated and ask for ways to donate and support and help the cause. I set up a PayPal account for donations, so if you want to donate, you can do so at lovforpapa@gmail.com. That's our PayPal account, and that's love, the number 4, POPPA @gmail.com. If you got $1 to spare, every dollar helps. We just want to say thank you to those who have supported in every way that they have. Peace and love.